Greetings, 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 my Ignite family all over the world. This is your chief at very early hours in the morning. I went to bed, closed my eyes, and I was about to dream of all the max out kings and max out queens that we're going to create in Ignite. And suddenly I realized I forgot something today. What did I forget? Oh my God, the Wednesday message. So I woke up, put on my clothes, looking fresh and gorgeous as usual. All right, thanks to Lorraine's message, I realized that I owe her the Wednesday message. So this is your chief, my Ignite family, all right, with the most important Wednesday message of 2026, okay? Over the last 31, 32, 33, 34 years, of being in this amazing industry of direct selling and social enterprise, I have come to a few conclusions. But one of the most important conclusions that I have come to is that ultimately this business, every aspect of your journey from the start all the way to max out, is one thing truly matters. That is the relationships that you have with your downlines, with your uplines, with your team. A lot of people misunderstand or technically have forgotten the need to value the power of relationships. As I started this journey as your upline in Ignite, I think the number one reason for the success of Ignite, the records we have broken in this industry of direct selling, okay, the max out kings and queens that we have created all over the world in just our first 3.5 weeks of our pre-launch. It has to do, of course, with the amazingness and awesomeness of our comp plan. It has to do with the amazing value for money that you receive, the products. But most importantly, the success that we have today as Ignite, I believe, is because of the power of the relationships that has been built over the years. One of the biggest mistakes that you can make as an entrepreneur in social enterprise, as an upline or a downline, is to take the relationships you have for granted. All right? And I've learned this lesson in many good ways. I've learned this lesson in many bad ways or painful ways. All right? And this is a mistake repeated almost by everyone in the industry. And I think as I started my journey in Ignite and the close to 400,000 people who decided to join us on this journey of Ignite, all right, woke up a lot of sleeping uplines who took relationships for granted. You see, this concept of relationship is a mystery that it took me many years to unravel, to understand. Now, the easiest thing to do in this journey is the start of a relationship. When you want to start a relationship, it is the easiest thing to do. It starts with a hello. It starts with, getting to know the person, having a few meetings, coffee, talking about simple things, establishing trespass in the beginning. But then people assume that just because you start a relationship and the start of the relationship is good, is friendly, the downline respects you, you respect your downline, there is value that you provide to each other. But then people fail to realize that relationship is all about maintenance and strengthening the relationship. Starting the relationship, any Tom, Dick, and Sally can do it. Maintaining a relationship takes effort, All right, maintaining a relationship requires sincerity of care and love, and strengthening that relationship happens at many points during the journey of the relationship. And firstly, let's talk about maintenance of relationship. Maintenance of relationship is not only about communication, it's not only about the power of association. Maintaining that relationship, the maintenance requires you to demonstrate, all right, that the relationship is sincere. Because people can smell, all right, that if the reason for you being close to that person is for a benefit, whether it's CV, whether it's trying to get the most out of that person to benefit you and your account, all right? So you need to first decide, if you are not sincere about the relationship, if you cannot overcome the mental and emotional obstacles of wanting to connect with that person, which sometimes happen, don't fake it. Don't pretend like you care. Don't be there for them just for your own selfish benefit. If you cannot maintain a relationship sincerely yourself, then you need to outsource that relationship to somebody that can maintain that relationship with sincerity, because that's the advantage of our business. There are many layers of people. I may not connect with somebody the same way that I would connect with somebody else. I may have a stronger relationship with this person, and for whatever reason, we're all humans, you have a weaker relationship with another person. And don't try to fake the love, the sincerity, the care in that weaker relationship. Instead, you get help from one of your team members to maintain that relationship. And that team member that you get help from, you have a strong relationship there, a sincere, strong relationship. And now he or she maintains that relationship with your downline, where you have a challenge that you have tried everything, but you still cannot succeed. Instead of faking the relationship, I sort of delegate the responsibility of maintaining that relationship to somebody who is part of the team, who has a mutual benefit or is sincerely connecting with that person. All right, you should never, fake it in this concept of relationship, because end of the day, people are not all moronic and morons all the time. They can sense and smell it a mile away. Now, the question you ask is, Chief, why can't we have sincere relationships with everyone? It can never happen, because personalities are different, and some people just cannot connect with you. Some people have characteristics that are completely against your grain, your belief system, and the more harder you try to maintain the relationship, the more fake you come across. And that can hurt your journey in this business. It can hurt your journey of building a healthy team. So it's okay for some people, if you cannot maintain the relationship, make sure there's some other leader in your organization that maintains that relationship, all right, to help that person, to keep that person switched on, to keep that person going. And you keep your distance so that you don't have to fake it, and then eventually find a way of overcoming the obstacles that's been stopping you to get close to them. All right, maybe the more time you spend in that power of association, the more you see goodness in that person, or you overcome that mental blocks about that character of that person. All right, don't try to change people to suit your liking. People are people. You try to work with them. If you want to help them overcome their weaknesses, it still requires you to have a good relationship and trespass. You cannot teach, you cannot help people unless you have a healthy relationship with them. All right, they're going to tell you to fly a kite. They're going to tell you to get lost, basically. I've seen this happen a lot of times, and I work closely, all right, by getting help from Adli, from Arun, from David, from Dave, all right, all the partners, sometimes to help me maintain some relationships that I struggle maintaining. And it's okay, because your intent is still good. You're still finding a way to help that person. You're still finding a way to help that person rise and become a max out king or queen. And if you can't do it yourself, get other leaders in your team to help. That's the advantage of our business of social enterprise, that it's not you alone. You have a group of people to help. You cannot get along with everyone. You cannot have the same level of liking, connection, and trespass with everyone, okay? I am telling you, as your chief, as your upline, as Pathman Senathirajah, there's some relationships I struggle to maintain, and some relationships are easy to maintain, all right? And the relationships where I struggle to maintain, I get help from my partners, from other people who may have a better connection, a better equation, a better common ground. My goal is just to help that person. And if I am not the best person to help that person, I'll get somebody else to help that person. The goal is to help. The goal is to help raise other people. The goal is to give them the best chance of success. All right. So maintaining relationship is crucial. You got to maintain relationship by being present, by being there for them. Not only good times, but bad times. And you have to demonstrate your sincerity. You got to demonstrate your support, whether it's through presentation, through training, through counseling, or getting on the call every night, or being there when they need your help. All right. Ultimately, when you demonstrate that you're willing to sacrifice your time, your comfort to help somebody, that's how you maintain a relationship. But it also includes aspects of fun, and not always only talk about how many CV, what you did last week, what's your TAT. You need a balance in maintaining the relationship. You need a balance of catching up, spending time with family, your family, their family. Family is important, okay? And have some fun. Sometimes go bowling with the team. Sometimes you need to maintain relationship for many aspects, like 6, 7. You understand? You need a balance, all right? Now, how do you strengthen a relationship? Strengthening relationships doesn't happen the whole time. You strengthen your relationship by certain points of the relationship where you go above and beyond, all right, to demonstrate to that person that you are willing to do much more for that person. Do you understand? And I always believe that the moments of strengthening the relationship overall makes that relationship much stronger. So the moments of strengthening that relationship is when being there for that person, when they're going through a challenging time, being there for the person when their income drops, all right, or their CVs or part of their network drops. Instead of abandoning them and working with somebody who's producing CVs, you don't. And that person will remember that forever. That will strengthen the relationship, that he or she did not ignore me, did not abandon me, did not push me to a side just because there was a period I was not performing. There was a period I was not producing CVs. You understand? Not everyone is going to produce all the time. People have bad times, troubled times, challenges, personally, market, whatever. At that time, you be there for them. The same way you were with them when they were top performers, and they will remember those moments, and those moments strengthen relationships. I've learned this, that I am there for anyone regardless how or what or when they perform or not. Because ultimately, if somebody goes down, they will come back up again. It always happens, including me, including the partners, all right? So you need that moments where you strengthen your relationships, especially the moments when they are facing a great challenge. Me as your upline, you can ask anyone in the whole industry that I may not be the sunny day friend, but I will always be there when you truly are in trouble, when you truly face a challenge. You can rely on Pathman Senathirajah. That is something that I pray and hope people will remember in my legacy. All right, that sometimes we have big crises, sometimes markets can collapse, sometimes networks can go through big challenges, and that are the moments you be there with full sincerity, full support, full sacrifice, and demonstrate your sacrifice. Whether you have to stay with that person for 1 week and not go home, all right, be there with the team. And sometimes people lose somebody they love, like their family, their parents, right, and you be there for that 2 days, 3 days of whatever ceremony, you be there. That's when people need you, and that's where you strengthen your relationship. People don't remember the birthdays you attended. People do not remember the parties where you were holding hands and singing Kumbaya. People remember the rainy days when you ran to them with an umbrella. Not literally run with an umbrella, you know what I mean. And this is the key to building a healthy team. Building a healthy team is being there for them at the lowest points of their life, is when they need you the most. And those are the moments that strengthen that relationship. Those are the moments where they appreciate you the most. So today I've realized when we started Ignite, a lot of the sleeping uplines who took relationships for granted are now running all over the world, trying to be there to demonstrate that I'm here for you and I'm supporting you and I'm back as your upline. That's bull sugar. People can read through fakeness immediately. I've seen videos suddenly appear on social media of people who didn't care before and now talking. That's not how you build a team. All right. And okay, I don't care. Let them say whatever they want. But please don't think that's the way. All right. Don't suddenly appear. Be there consistently. Be there for them through their ups and downs. All right. Be there for them whether they're the top producer or not the top producer. But be there with sincerity. All right, because our business is about people, our business is about relationships, and relationships are easy to start, hard to maintain, and very hard to strengthen. And the day you understand that ultimately your max out journey is completely dependent on the strength of your relationships. When I started my journey as an upline for Ignite, I was so emotional. The amount of people who decided to follow us and come with us, it's a reflection and a testament of the years of me maintaining and strengthening relationships of the real people working on the ground, the real entrepreneurs, the good men, the good women, all right? And that's what you have to learn. It's not about skill. It's not about how well you speak. It's not about anything else. It's about being there, contributing, maintaining that relationship, strengthening that relationship. Because ultimately, I'm telling you this, and I've said this 100 times, all right? The strength of your success, the level of the success you will achieve is a direct reflection of the strength of the relationships you have with your downlines, your uplines, and your whole team. So always remember, the key to this business, the key to the success of this business is the strength of your relationships. If there's one thing you need to learn, which I have learned the hard way, is that the most valuable commodity in the world is the commodity of relationships. And relationships can never be faked. It must be real, it must be sincere, it must come from your heart, it must come from a good place. Are you guys with me? So start relationships. Maintain those relationships, strengthen those relationships. Be there for people, all right? Not only when you need them, be there for them when they need you, all right? I love you guys, and make this week your greatest week, my igniters all over the world.